We're back at the W balcony here at GDC. We've been here before earlier this week, but now it's the big Planetside 2 event, and we see some live gameplay demo here, which is brave, I guess, at this stage of the game development to show it off like this. But what kind of experience? Because Planetside, that was a long time ago, and
yeah,
some people still playing, but for those who are unfamiliar, what is Planetside?
Planetside 2 and Planetside, the first one, really an MMOFPS. Pretty unique across the board as far as the scope of the gameplay, the number of players, and still having that visceral elements that you would expect in any modern shooter, but at such a large scale with cooperation, social features, and guild systems that go along with it. It's just unique in its kind.
So I thought when Planetside launched that would be the sign of things to come, that a lot of shooters would go down that road, but it just didn't happen really like that. And instead we got Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, all of that sort of thing. Sort of how do you sort of merge that modern shooter with the Planetside experience, and is that what Planetside 2 is?
At its core, it really is, a shooter. It's, everything that you would expect it to have, all those, the modern feeling, the motion, the shooting the gun, driving a tank, all of that is just as fluid, just what you'd expect on any shooter. It's just a scaled up version. I mean, you say you haven't seen a lot of them, and you talked and named some really great games off. Going from that to 2,000 folks on a server, 2,000 folks in an environment fighting and vying against each other is a pretty big Herculean effort. I mean, it's crazy. But SOE's had a lot of experience with it, and EverQuest has been around, for 11 years right now. A lot of that experience, a lot of those standards, and the things that we've done, the engineering work that we've done, we've just brought in. And so our main focus has really been that visceral combat experience and making it feel as solid as we possibly can.
We're talking a lot about the second three-letter combination here, the FPS. But what about the MMO part of this? Because that's important as well. And sort of, what are you trying to do there?
It has a lot of things that you would see from any other MMO. And obviously they've been changed, they've been modified to really fit within the FPS genre. Obviously squatting, we have chat, we have, voice recognition, we also have guilds. We actually support those things like leadership roles with ways that you can actually progress your character, you can progress your leadership role. We have, progression more along the lines of what you would see in MMOs these days, whether it's progressing an individual class or working on progressing a vehicle or things like that. And then the level of customization actually extends out to that as well. So your ability to do everything from change a turret on your tank, put a second gun on it, go ahead and put headlights on it, put camo on it, make sure that your guild decal, your outfit as we call that, is actually represented on it. You can do all of that stuff. And we take all of that information and we really are trying to do a lot for the community. So we have all the information, we have all our stats as well, all the player stats, your progression, your kill to death ratios, and we're taking all that information inside the game and we're putting it out on the web, much like you've seen on some of the other titles out there, and we're expanding it out to include other aspects like what's your guild doing, who's on your friends list, can you go ahead and get your guild message of the day, and then following the whole battle of what's gone on maybe the continent that you're playing on over the last 24 hours, over the last week, being able to see it go shift back and forth. And then sharing that information even further. So not only be able to read it and take a look and sift through who's doing what and what the leaderboards are, you're going to be able to actually grab that information. And if you're running a guild, you want to go ahead and grab all the info, all the statistics for all of your members and do a comparison on your own sites, you're more than welcome to have it. We're going to share all that and give the community as much as they can.
So MMO players, they get a little bit scared when they hear free to play. And I don't know if it's for good reason or not, but some players get a little bit scared. So what kind of message do you have for them? And instead of, is this the full Planetside experience that you would expect if it was a subscription model as well? Or how do you feel about the free-to-play model and how do you handle it and sort of the pitfalls that might be there?
I'm excited. I mean, I'd say free-to-play had certain connotations like 2 to 3 years ago. Games were coming out, and whether it's a quality bar, a visual, quality bar, they didn't feel necessarily like they were really on par with everything else that's out there. In the last few years, it's just changed. If you take a look at some of our games, I mean, DCO, for instance, it's a fantastic game coming out free-to-play, and we've got a number of those. I think the bar of expectations kind of trended a little bit more higher on the quality side, and I think if you take a look at what we have today, that's, we're just blowing it out of the water. There is nothing out there that looks like this when it comes down to free-to-play FPS. It's fantastic. But, what's important to us as well is players are content. We want folks to come in, and we do have marketplace. We are supporting microtransactions, and we do have some ideas on what we're going to do with a membership model, that kind of stuff. But it's not going to lock content. We really want everybody to get in there and to be able to be on par with each other, to really enjoy the game and actually make those connections and build that community and have fun playing it on a game this size. Players are everything.
And sort of where are you at in development, and what's going to happen next?
So right now we're in alpha. We're pushing steadily towards our internal closed beta. What that means is we have a vast majority of our content and our gameplay in the game right now. A lot of refinements that we want to go into, a lot of polish, bug fixing, all that kind of stuff, and growing our internal testing by leaps and bounds, like what you saw today. Obviously, was 25 to 30 folks working together and playing online. That's going to grow to thousands by the time we're done. So, the next few months are going to be pretty interesting over on the team, and it's going to be pretty hectic. But we're all really excited.